We're joined by the Honorable Governor of Kerala, Shri Arif Mohammad Khan. Governor, thank you so much for talking to India today.
Thank you very much.
Well, Governor, there's a lot of discussions and debates going on around the Uniform Civil Code, especially after Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that same people in the family should be treated equally. All the members of the family should be treated equally, stressing that the Uniform Civil Code will be introduced. How do you look at the Uniform Civil Code?
It's not a question of how I look at Uniform Civil Code. The question should be asked how the Constitution looks at the Uniform Civil Code. Constitution clearly says that directive principles, although they are not enforceable by the courts, but the principles therein laid down are fundamental to the governance of the country, and it shall be the duty of the government. The words are absolutely clear. It shall be the duty of the state to apply these principles in making laws. And then Article 44 says, the state shall endeavor to secure for the citizens a uniform civil code throughout the territory of India. So this is a goal, this is the ambition which was expressed by the fathers of our Constitution. And they had giants like, so many of them, they were freedom fighters and they were legal luminaries, great experts. In fact, I do not know if in the history so many in one body, that is the Central Legislative Assembly, which was almost it was combination of the talent, and they have placed this. Now it is more than, now we have already completed 75 years of our independence. When are we going to realize this goal or ideal or ambition which was incorporated into the Constitution of India? And there is a purpose behind it, the philosophy behind it. The philosophy is that under Chapter 3 of the Constitution, everybody will enjoy equal protection of the laws, and there shall be equality before law. What a ridiculous situation it is today. Has been continuing since 1937, but it becomes more glaring in independent India, particularly after the enforcement of the Constitution of India, which talks of equality. Here, in matters which are governed by the personal law, when a person goes to the court, that then the court, as the situation exists today, court first has to inquire what faith you subscribe to. And then they will decide what kind of justice can be given to you. Don't you find it ridiculous? In a country where equality before law and equal protection of the laws is one of the basic fundamental rights. So I think we have already late, but it is even better, better late than never. So now we need to, in this Amrit Kal of our independence, when we have taken the vow to realize the dreams of our freedom fighters, which includes the makers of our Constitution. Time has come, although it is late in my opinion, But at least now we should go ahead and have a law. And please do not make the mistake of becoming victim of this malicious propaganda that the Uniform Civil Code means uniformity of customs, uniformity of rituals, uniformity of the way in which you solemnize your marriage, uniformities of way in which you dispose of your dear ones who have become dead. Law is not concerned with that. Law is concerned only with the uniformity of justice. That is the purpose of the law. It does not deal with, it does not aim for uniformity of customs, rituals, the way you solemnize. That is not the subject matter of the Uniform Civil Code.
Governor, since you were talking about the uniformity of the law, the opposition parties who are opposing the Uniform Civil Code have given their reasons. They say it's a political trump card of the BJP before the 2024 general election. This is going to eliminate the pluralism that exists in India, and this is also the road to India becoming a Hindu Rashtra. How do you look at all these allegations or the reasons?
Well, how do you define the trump card? If they are saying this is the trump card, which means they acknowledge that the people of this country are for Uniform Civil Code. So, in a democracy, you want to go against the wishes of the people? Secondly, when you say Hindu Rashtra, I do not know what do they mean by Hindu Rashtra. Because the Hindu Code Bill, name Hindu was added to it only to assure certain sections of the society that this law will not be applicable onto you. The existing Hindu Code Bill is not totally based on Shastras. There is no concept of divorce in the traditional Hindu law. There is no concept of inheritance. There were exceptions, like Kerala, some places in northeast, where women used to inherit the property, but mostly the law based on Shastra does not talk about women inheriting the property. So in fact, through this country has accepted a law which is different from the law as prescribed by Shastras. So if the Hindu Shastras have not been, their provisions have not been incorporated into the Hindu Code Bill, how they can be incorporated into the Uniform Civil Code? But they themselves are admitting, when they say trump card, that the people of this country, they are for Uniform Civil Code.
Governor, now when we talk about Uniform Civil Code, we have to talk about the practicability of the Uniform Civil Code in an Indian situation. Now the centre has also not exactly said how they're going to implement the Uniform Civil Code, or draft or something is not yet prepared. So does it give weightage to opposition's allegations in any way?
No, then what should be done? The proper course of action would be to ask the government to come out with a draft instead of opposing the Uniform Civil Code in principle. What they are doing, they are opposing it in principle. So you do not have the draft and you have started opposing it. What does that mean? You are doing it only for the view of the gallery. You want to give message to certain some sections of the society, as if their things will be in danger, and you are standing by them. Ask for a draft. I will support you. What you are doing, you are opposing something which has been incorporated into the constitution as a directive principle by which government is bound to act. Please go ahead. I mean, you use that argument to ask the government to come with a draft.
Governor, now when the Uniform Civil Code discussions began, the Muslim organizations, especially in Kerala, the Muslim League and Samasta, all these organizations opposed the Uniform Civil Code. Now, something that the Indian Union Muslim League said was, there's a perception that this is going to affect the minority, especially the Muslim community. But what they went on to say is that it's going to affect all the religions, specifically the Hindu religion, the majority in the country. That is something the BJP or the centre is trying to hide. It's like the target is the Muslim community here. How do you want to respond?
Hide, I mean, do they, I don't want to reply to specific organizations or individual leaders, but Muslim League had used the same argument when they were demanding partition of the country. 47, the country was partitioned. In 1962, in the newly created state of Pakistan, the Muslim personal law was done away with. Why they did away with it? So what they say and what they do are two totally different things. They were making the same argument when demanding the partition of the country. But after Pakistan came into existence in 1962, they changed the personal law. They banned triple divorce. They put restrictions on polygamy. They modified even other provisions. Then why it happened in Pakistan? If it is going to hurt my religion, then why it happened in Pakistan? India is the only country, even in Sri Lanka, the same law was applicable. Sri Lanka has also changed it. India is the only country which is continuing with this colonial legacy. And I'm not saying so. Very learned Muslim scholars have said that the personal law as it is applicable and foreseeable in India, there is nothing Islamic about it. Even their most prominent leader, Jinnah, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, is speaking on behalf of the taluqedars, which means big landlords, and other chieftains who were very uncomfortable. In 1937, they were very uncomfortable with this law because this law does not allow adoption. And he successfully pleaded on their behalf and got a provision incorporated into this. This law was passed, but he opposed it. Even in 1939, at the time of the dissolution of Muslim Marriage Act, you know what all these people had said? Their insistence was that Muslim law cannot be administered by non-Muslim judges. We were under the British rule. The government said that we can make a law as per your demand, but we shall not exclude it from the jurisdiction of judges appointed by the government. And government cannot accept the demand that cases under this law shall be decided only by Muslim judges. And let me also tell you who supported the government at that time. By and large, the Muslim clerics, Jamatul Ulama, all ulama, Muslim scholars organizations were one on this demand. Muhammad Ali Jinnah supported the government. He said there is no need for the Muslim judges. It should not become necessary. If there is a Muslim judge, it's okay. Let him decide the case. But the cases will be decided, the judge will not be chosen on the basis of his religion. Like I'm saying today, that when somebody who is aggrieved goes to the court, it is not court's business to find out which religion that person subscribes to. They are duty bound to deliver justice in accordance with law. So law should be such. I have already made it clear. The laws, particularly civil laws, are not concerned. They are not about bringing uniformity or homogeneity of the customs, of the rituals, of other practices. Law is not concerned with that. Hindu Code Bill is there since last more than 7 decades. It has not been able to create uniform practices all over the country. The practices vary. In UP, among the Hindus, the practices are different. In Kerala, they are different. So law is not concerned with those practices, customs and rituals. Law should be concerned and is concerned with uniformity of justice.
Governor, I want to go to the opposition parties now. Yesterday, the CPIM said they're going to start campaign against the UCC and they're going to start it with a seminar in Kozhikode in northern Kerala. Now, do you think that the opposition parties, by opposing the Uniform Civil Code, is playing vote bank politics just to please the vote bank? Because CPM's, if we see it's happening in Kozhikode in the northern Kerala.
First, they should explain from 1947 up to at least 1990, they were ardent advocates of Uniform Civil Code. First, they should explain the grounds which have made them change their stance. And I've said it before, in 1986, when I resigned from the government after Shah Bano case, the most vocal supporter of my stand was Shri EMS Namboodiripad, the left parties, and of course BJP. They should explain what has happened in between, that now they have come, they were demanding Uniform Civil Code earlier, and now they have turned against the Uniform Civil Code. First, they should explain that. And then they should also explain that they have taken oath of the Constitution. And this action of theirs, suppose if the draft is present there, and they find some provisions in the draft problematic, I can understand. But in the absence of the draft, if they are opposing it, they are opposing the constitutional principle. So they should explain that before, and the very choice of the place where they are going to hold the first seminar indicates what is the intention and what is the motive. I don't want to name anybody, but many people are only looking at the whole thing from the viewpoint of winning over not individual voters, but block votes. I can only feel sorry for them.
Governor, I want to ask something about what's happening in Tamil Nadu, apart from the UCC, between the Tamil Nadu state government and Governor R.N. Ravi. Now, last week, there was a surprise when Governor R.N. Ravi dismissed Senthil Balaji from the cabinet, which was disregarded by the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin, and later it was put on hold by the Home Ministry. Now we remember...
No. The order is not like
order
this.
Is,
no, it is not. First he holds it, and then they said that in any case the order is
yes. So last year in October, you had withdrawn pleasure from State Finance Minister K.N. Balagopal, saying that somebody who took oath on the Constitution cannot differentiate people based on different regions. It was not, of course, dismissal, it was withdrawing pleasure. But how do you look at this things,
No, as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned, I do not know the full facts of the case, therefore it will not be proper for me to comment on it. The only comment I can make is that I fully subscribe to the dictum that Caesar's wife must be above suspicion. All of us who are in public life, they are like Caesar's wife. There should be some standards of probity, morality in public life. We can't run the government merely on the basis of technicalities. If somebody is under clout, it is for that person to decide whether that person should continue in a position of power without getting his name cleared. So I leave it to the individual. As far as my thing is concerned, I had written to the Chief Minister. Suppose the Finance Minister had said that governor lacks the ability to understand the education system of Kerala. I would not mind that because he has a right to his opinion. He did not say that. What he said was how somebody from UP can understand the education system of Kerala. If a person from UP can represent a parliamentary constituency of Kerala, then why a person from UP cannot understand the... do we have different educational systems in different states? They are all coordinated by UGC. So when somebody says it, it means he is trying to build walls. He is trying to stoke the regional feelings, which goes against the oath which a minister takes. And there cannot be greater endorsement for my stand than the Central Committee of the CPM refusing to take cognizance of that and advising them to keep silent about it. Immediately thereafter, there was meeting of the Central Committee of CPM, and I know what happened there. They said this will inflame the feelings of people in other parts of India. So just don't raise this issue. So I had told the chief, I had written to him. I had not passed any order. I had written to him and I had given that letter. If you have time, please read it. I started with Shankaracharya. This is what Shankaracharya has said. This Kerala has produced people who stood for the ekatmata of India, oneness of India, not only the constitution. Kerala has great history. Shankaracharya, Shri Narayan Guru, Chatambi Swamikal, Chinmayanand, Swami Chinmayanand, they all have talked about the integration of Indian personality, rather integration of the human personality. So Kerala has that glorious tradition. And one of your cabinet minister, he is not only challenging the constitution of India, he is not only violating the oath which he has taken, he is also profaning that glorious tradition of Kerala. In fact, the political unity which we have in India today, the success with which Sardar Patel is credited to bring whole of India under one umbrella. And there were more than 500 or 600 princely states. I'm firmly of the view that this operation would not have been so smooth if more than 1,000 years before Shankaracharya had not created that feeling, that awareness of oneness at a time when India was politically fragmented. He told Indians, and he conveyed it so powerfully, that you may be politically fragmented, but culturally and spiritually, you are one whole. I had taken objection to that. Suppose he had criticized me personally. Honestly, I would have ignored it because he is entitled to his views. He can, I don't want to sit in judgment about anybody, but if he wants to sit in judgment about me, he has full freedom. But how can he do something which is repugnant to the letter and spirit of the Constitution, to the letter and spirit of the oath which he has taken? That was my point.
Governor, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much
Very kind
for
of
talking
you.
to
You are
me
very
today.
kind.